That last night, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what we witnessed last night on Raw, that was the worst case scenario. That is the one thing that we feared, the one thing that could not happen. Because for the past several weeks, no matter how tragic the shows were, at least there was a glimpse or two, a blue moon moment or segment that gave us hope that WrestleMania season was still going to kick into high gear, even though there was only a couple weeks left. The light was still flickering. It was not totally out yet. The past several weeks gave us at least one or two things that we could cling on to. Hey, that was at least decent. They'll get their act together. They'll get their shit together in the next couple weeks. But what we saw last night, I'm running down this entire list, this entire show, 11 full segments. And I can't give you one thing that was even decent in this show. Even decent. And we are legitimately one Monday Night Raw away from WrestleMania. The go-home show is this Monday. And they couldn't even give us a moment last night. They couldn't give us 1 ounce of excitement, 1 inch of intriguement. They couldn't give us anything last night because they were too busy going through the motions. That's all they did last night. They went through the motions. And while you have absolute fools, clowns, idiot, dumb schmucks, dipshits, that may look at people like myself and JD and say, wow, they're always negative, they're always bitching and complaining, they don't just sit back and enjoy the entertainment. It's because we actually want to give our audiences truth, no matter how much JD and myself will disagree with one another on a plethora of topics. And we do, trust me. At the end of the day, we see through bullshit. We're not going to throw on a little suit and tie like a Justin LaBar and act like everything is hunky-dory in WWE. I'm not going to sit there like Simon on What Culture and give every single show 17 ups and 5 downs and make pretend everything is hunky-dory because I'm not a liar. And people can see through bullshit. People can tell when someone is real and when someone is fake. And if they can't, then I don't want them on this channel as a subscriber. There's not many of us, like myself, like JD, in this community that will call it like it is. But you can bet your ass that every single Tuesday morning after Monday Night Raw and every Wednesday morning after SmackDown and anytime I pump out a video, I guarantee you I am going to give you the truth. Whether you like it or not, whether you think I'm yelling too much, you think I'm too negative, or you think I'm complaining too much, it doesn't stop the fact that you're going to get nothing but the utmost doses of reality. Last night produced nothing of substance and nothing that got us excited for WrestleMania. In fact, I think I can speak for the majority of us with a brain in between our skull. I can speak for all of us when I say that got us even more uninterested for Mania. That got us non-excited. Only WWE and Vince McMahon, over the course of the last several years, only they can do something that's stupid to get people even less interested than more interested after your show. Only Vince can pull that shit off, and he did it yet again. But this time, it was criminally done. It was tragically done. Over on my Twitter, I asked you guys, it was my final tweet of the night, and I went a little fucking harsh last night. I was not accepting any bullshit. And for those of you that got me on Twitter, you know, I just don't use my Twitter for opinions. BC's opinions. No. What I do on my channel is I actually give you statistics. I'm like the mad scientist on my Twitter. I just give facts. And that's what I gave you guys last night. I was jumping mad numbers at you guys. How many times people have faced in the last several months. And it was criminally tragic when you guys were reading that, right? Because you don't really think about it. Because WWE is going through the motions. And they're hoping that the sheep that follow them don't realize it or don't care. But I do realize it and I do care. Because I ain't just one of your please sir, feed me more sheep. So I gave you guys a plethora of statistics. I'm going to go over that segment by segment, I assure you, during these matches that I'm about to go over. But that last tweet I sent out to you guys, I just said, if you guys want me to tear this show apart like it should be, you smash that heart button, 25 of those sons of bitches, and I'll tear this thing apart, which I was going to do anyway. Ended up being 125 at last check. I put that thing up, what, midnight last night? 25, I was going to tear this thing apart as a little fun thing we could do together. And it is at 125. So that shows me, and that's just as of now. And mind you, it's a private Twitter. I got about 1,200 plus on that thing as a whole. 125 already said, BC ripped this show apart. So that gauges not just my amp unit, because I know my amp unit is the smartest wrestling fans in the community. I already know that. Because I know they're the ones that can stand the test of time when it comes to the doses of reality that I am pumping out. They have stood the test of time the 2 years that I've had this channel. And they've dealt with reality after reality, truth after truth. Even though it might have been uncomfortable. Even though I might have been dissing their favorite superstar. Maybe it was an opinion or a fact or a statistic that they didn't like, but they knew it was reality. That's why I know my amplified unit is the strongest. So 125 of them already spoke loud and clear, and I know so many more are going to, so you know what? Let's rip this motherfucker apart. This, ladies and gentlemen, is your Raw review for March 25th, 2019. I'm going to give you a warning right now, a disclaimer, if you will. There is no good in this show. If you don't like BC yelling and being negative, if you don't like my non-entertained aspect of this review for your entertainment, now's the time to leave and don't ever come back. For those of you that are ready to rock this review out and get those doses of reality that I aforementioned, we waste no more time. Let's get this motherfucker started. Alright. Party at the Moon Tower. BC, if you don't like it, don't watch. If you don't think it's entertaining and you think it sucks, stop watching, BC. Well, that's a different way to look at things. That's an interesting dynamic you just brought to the table. That's an intriguing topic I'll jump into. So my Green Bay Packers, they didn't make the playoffs last year. They haven't even gotten to a Super Bowl in 8 years with one of the best players in the game right now in his prime, Aaron Rodgers. Should I just stop watching the Green Bay Packers because they suck? Should I stop watching my New York Knicks because they've sucked since the beginning of time without Patrick Ewing or Allen Houston? Should I stop watching my Yankees because we just can't win a World Series lately? We suck lately with 100 wins, but you get my point. Should I just stop watching everything I'm passionate about and everything that I've loved since the beginning of time, it seems? Pro wrestling is my passion. It's something I love, and I've said and I've stated from day one. It's something that I will forever love, will forever be my passion. WWE is the company that I hold on the highest pedestal. So no, I won't just stop watching. What I'll do is I'll create channels like this, make and create videos like this, gather an audience like yourselves that keeps, slowly but surely, we continually, against YouTube's YouTube's defenses, we still continue to grow as a channel. And what I'll do is I'll attempt to play my part in making pro wrestling better, and especially WWE, by calling out the bullshit. Will it work? Maybe. Will it not? Possibly. But I have to make the effort because I am passionate about it, because I do love this. I love this company. That's why I call out the bullshit. That's why I flip out and get amplified. I want to educate others to see that this is unacceptable, that a product, a business, a company like WWE should be thriving every week. They should be giving us the utmost entertainment, something we can't see on Seinfeld, or The Walking Dead, or The Sopranos, or King of Queens, or Empire. WWE should be giving us the utmost entertainment because it's unlike anything else. The characters, the stories should be epic, second to none. And instead, we get redundancy, confusion. We get the company, the heads, the honchos, the suits and ties going through the motions instead of giving us entertainment, quality entertainment, instead of giving their own superstars the time of day. Instead of giving their own storylines detail and focus, they give it nothing. Zero, nilch, nada. And that is unacceptable. So no, I won't stop watching. What I'll do is I'll watch even more intently. I'll watch with even more focus. That's what I will do. A show like last night, absolutely criminally tragic, and I will not stand for it. So hopefully that separates the clowns, the idiots, the dipshits, the dumb schmucks that go, if you don't like it, just don't watch BC. No, I'm going to watch even more closely, and I'm going to call out the bullshit now more than ever. You don't like it? Too bad. Stop watching. Dipshit. It's review time. And I want to start with Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair. Beat the clock challenge. My question, why? Hours before this match was announced, they go ahead and announce that the official main event, the official last match of Mania will be the Triple Threat Women's match, which I'm already asking questions. Why is Charlotte Flair in there? This only adds to the befuddling confusion and stupidity. That only makes people not want to watch Becky and Ronda by adding Charlotte Flair in this match. That's the truth. Does nothing. Charlotte Flair has not won one match in 2019 televised. You don't got to do your research. I already have. Not one match. Until last night when she, I believe, beat the clock. Or did she not? I don't even think she tapped out Ruby Riott. I think she just lost a beat. So that's probably not even a victory. Right? I don't think she ever tapped out Ruby. So she remains without a win in 2019. But Vince is just like, we need Charlotte to sell those tickets. I don't know if Ronda and Becky are enough to be that main event, which storyline-wise, they wouldn't have been. Vince and WWE's creative, or lack thereof, doesn't know what to do with them, and that was proven, and I said that from day one. Storyline-wise, nobody would want to see Becky and Ronda in that main event spot, but then you add in Charlotte Flair, and it just became even more criminally wrong and tragic. Horrific. And what happened? Here we are this morning and everyone's agreeing, right? Or the ones with brains in their fucking skulls. Everybody's agreeing that this is the main event. I mean, seriously. How do you... We went from hoping that this was going to be badass. Like the Survivor Series feud with Ronda and Becky. And even though I told you guys from day one it wouldn't be, I'm not going to lie to you. I held a little piece in my dome piece that held out faith, hope that they would get it right. Of course they didn't, but I was hoping they weren't going to make it this tragic. Are you kidding me? Now there's not even a feud. Now they're out there basically having friendly competition with one another. Ronda's walking by Charlotte. Becky's like a cheerleader outside. Charlotte's looking at her like, yeah, whatever. You want two participants in your main event that if they're in the same vicinity, if they're in the same room, they want to kill each other. They want to break each other's bones. This is like friendly competition. Beat the Clock Challenge were basically an MTV's Challenge, or Ninja Warrior, or The Rock's new Triumph show, whatever that's called, fucking Trojan Warrior, whatever the fuck The Rock's doing. You get the point. This is like a bunch of buddies, or half buddies, or semi-buddies, or just kind of enemies have gotten together and they're gonna try to see who's better by beating the Riot Squad. Wow, you gotta feel bad for the Riot Squad. If they weren't jobbers in 2018, they're beyond jobber status in 2019. I mean, all three of them getting beat in a minute and a half. Again, I don't think Ruby actually got beat, but you get the point. Minute and a half. No Riot Squad member was able to... It's... Friendly competition is where we are at now with Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte. You don't see that as... They're not even at each other's throat anymore. On social media, they talk all this great shit, and you think when they see each other, they're gonna kill each other. Instead, they see each other and just, whatever, bitch. Felicia, bye. I'm out. I'm out of here. Yas, queen. I'm gone. And then next week, they announce a tag team match. A 6-man tag match with the Riot Squad, so they'll be jobbing again, taking on Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda. So now, this week was friendly competition between them. Now they're all friendly competition competitors. Next week, they're on the same team. And the stipulation is, none of them can turn on each other. Because if they do, they're out of the Mania match. That's the stipulation. So they have to work together. So now we're going to see Charlotte, Ronda, and Becky shoulder to shoulder working together. 6 nights before WrestleMania next week. And that's going to be... Oh, BC, don't worry. By the end, they're all going to be smashing each other in the face. Wow! I'm so intrigued then. After seeing them in friendly competition this week, and then a tag team next week, this is really getting me thinking that's my main event. Beat the Clock Challenge was the best they had for their main event storyline. There's no storyline. That's my point. You can be upset with me all you want for being upset and for being negative and for yelling at something that you think may have been pretty decent. BC, the Beat the Clock Challenge was decent. No, it was not. Why? I'm going to tell you exactly why. They gave up on any story they had. Yeah, it was criminally horrible anyway, but to just give up? To give up on your story? Becky finally walking was a blessing, by the way. Becky's finally walking on both her legs like normal. But she was selling that leg injury for 2 months like that thing was seriously broken, even though Triple H said she was medically cleared. And then all of a sudden, she's just walking again? Again, beggars can't be choosers. I'm just glad she is. But they gave up on that, just drop of a dime. And then they gave up on any heat that they had with each other. Now they're just having them all together doing competition friendly style. Well, that's fucking epic, said no one ever. That is why that's not decent. This whole story should have been UFC style, where Becky has security because Vince ordered it around her at all times. Ronda has security at all times. And there comes those times where they do brush each other in the hallway, back in the locker room, or out by ringside, and they just end up brawling through their securities, but they can't quite get their hands on each other like they want to, and we have to see that at WrestleMania. We have to, not we want to. This story was sitting in their lap, and I knew from day one they were not going to be able to do it. And then they threw Charlotte in there, and this became a sham. Last week, Charlotte and Becky are on SmackDown, trying to brawl with each other. SmackDown. But they're going for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Why are they on SmackDown? And why is Asuka not even on the show last week and she's the SmackDown champion? You guys don't see the holes, or you're just okay with them? Because I'm not. Beat the Clock Challenge. And that was the first 15 minutes of the show. The next 2 hours and 45 minutes, you heard nothing about these three ladies. But that's my main event. I'll be at MetLife Stadium. And I can assure you, as of right now, before that match starts, I am going to be exiting MetLife Stadium and on my way back to New York City. By the time that match ends, I will be in the subway somewhere, at some point. Because I'm telling you right now, unless that match ends in a horsewomen feud, I don't see any interest one way or the other. Ronda walks out with the strap, yay, who gives a fuck? Charlotte gets a strap, yay, who gives a fuck? Becky gets the strap, yay, who gives a fuck? Unless you're going to give me the horsewomen feud we've been waiting for, I don't see a way or a reason that I should give a shit about that match. And don't BC me, Becky's selling merchandise to the point where they have to put her in the main event. BC, that's the best match on the card. BC, they're drawing the most. Bullshit, bullshit, and bullshit. I'd rather see Shane and The Miz in the main event at that point because storyline-wise, they have not made me give a shit about Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda. Last night was criminal. Next week is going to be even more tragic. Telling you right now. Now they're all a tag team next week. Beat the Clock Challenge? That's the best you had? My ass. I'm over that shit. That's how Raw started, so you knew right off the gates the Amplified Man was not a happy camper. But then we go into some redundancy. You guys ready? Finn Balor took on, this was a handicap match, mind you. This is a rematch from Elimination Chamber. But if you really want to talk rematches, first I'll announce the match, what it was supposed to be. Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush in a handicap match. That's what we were advertised for last night. Lio Rush took himself out and substituted himself with Jinder Mahal. Were you any more excited to see Bobby Lashley and Jinder versus Finn Balor? But here's the statistics. I can speak. This show's got me all fucking befuddled. They got me lowering down to their sheep level at this point. The statistics I spoke about that I put out on my Twitter, I'll give you guys right now. 16 times in the last 5 months, Finn Balor has been in the ring against Bobby Lashley in some way or form. Either singles, tag team, six-man tag. 16 times in 5 months. If you look at a month as basically 4 weeks, then that's 4 out of 5 months that Finn and Bobby Lashley have been battling each other. And last night, they just had another rematch from Elimination Chamber. The only difference, Leo took himself out last minute. Jinder Mahal inserted himself. And all of this was just to lead, if Balor wins, this just leads to another rematch at WrestleMania. Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley. So we had to see a 16th match in 5 months just to see a 17th match next Sunday. But hold on, we'll probably see the 17th match next Monday, and then the 18th match will be next Sunday at Mania. BC, we might see the Demon though. Of course we might see the Demon. It's New York City, New Jersey. He always brings the Demon out when he doesn't need to. I can think of a dozen times we needed to see the Demon, and he didn't bring him out. Because he told Vince, we found out. Vince just didn't say we don't want it. He went to Vince and said, I rest on that character too much. I want to be more of Pop Collar Smiley Finn. He said that in his own words. Without saying Pop Collar Smiley, of course. I added those words in. But Finn Balor went to Vince and said, I want to be more of this Balor, not the Demon. But we needed to see him a dozen times in the past year and a half. Now, when we don't need to see it, he's just going to bring it out in Brooklyn. Or I'm sorry, MetLife. New York, New Jersey, but that Brooklyn crowd that he always brings out the Demon in front of, he's now going to bring it back for zero reason. What's the payoff? Is he going to win the IC strap again? He just had it over a month ago, and he lost it in the middle of a Monday Night Raw to Bobby Lashley. Who cares if he gets it back? As Pop Collar Smiley Finn, Demon Finn, if he's Tugboat, or if he's Earthquake Finn? If he comes back as Yokozuna Finn Balor, it wouldn't matter. 16 times on TV or pay-per-view in the last 5 months. Balor and Lashley, and you guys don't find an issue with that, that's not redundant. You guys can see those two in the ring and get excited and entertained by that after 16 times? I've seen every one of their movesets 10 times over in the same sequence, it seems. There's nothing more I need to see. So Vince came up with the idea, let's give it to him again at Mania. And to set that match up, we'll give it to them a bunch of times beforehand. The brilliance is earth-shattering. I'm not done. I'm not done. I can't even say I'm done, guys, and we can just bring it down a notch. Because now we go into Alistar, Black, and Ricochet taking on the Tag Team Champions of Raw, the Revival. We have seen this match 4 times in the last 5 weeks. 4 times in the last 5 weeks, including Fastlane, the pay-per-view, when they took on each other. I believe that was a 3-way with Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. 4 times in 5 weeks, and you guys need to see the same match? This isn't just like a rematch every now and again, guys. This is 4 times in 5 weeks that we've seen Black and Ricochet versus the Revival. 3 of those weeks, the Ricochet and Black were beating the Revival. Just beating them. 1, 2, 3, down and out. That's your tag team champions? And this again, guys, this is only leading to another Revival versus Black Ricochet match at WrestleMania. You know, the event that we should be getting fresh, organic, awesome, exciting, intriguing, entertaining matches. It's just looking like redundant mania. Redundancy mania at its finest. And who knows, they'll probably add Gable and Roode up in there. Let's make it another rematch from Fastlane. Or knowing Vince, he'll say, let's switch it up a little bit. We already have the triple threat at Fastlane. Let's throw in the Lucha Summer House Party. Make it a fatal 4-way. But Vince, we already have that with the Women's Raw Championships. Who cares? They won't know. They're my sheep. They're stupid. They're not all like BC. That's right. That's right, you guys heard me correctly, because there's going to be a fatal 4-way tag team. Really, what is that? Fatal 8-way? Raw Women's, or no, Raw, SmackDown, the total WWE Women's Championship for the tag team straps. They're going to have 4 teams, guys, because Sasha Banks last night took on Natalya. I thought it was a decent match. We've seen it before so many times, but it was a decent match going until Tamina and Nia reared their heads into this match. Wreaked their non-havoc, and this match was thrown out, I guess. I don't even know. It was just Nia and Tamina for no reason showing up, because obviously Vince wants them in the tag picture. Again, Sasha and Bayley just beat Nia and Tamina at Fastlane. Why would Nia and Tamina even get another shot? They just lost their opportunity at Fastlane. They literally lost against the tag team champs. Now all they have to do is interfere 2 times the last couple weeks, and they're going to be catapulted into a tag team match, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be Sasha and Bayley taking on Beth Phoenix and Natty versus Nia and Tamina versus the Iconics from SmackDown. It's not officially announced yet, but the Amplified Man is telling you this because I'm pretty damn smart when it comes to this stuff. I see where this is leading. Sasha, after the match backstage, said that we said we'd take on anyone at any time. We'll take on everyone at once. Wow, a big, bold statement by Sasha. It would be epic if we didn't already see this coming from a mile away weeks ago. Vince doesn't know how to use people, so he's just going to use everyone together in a schmaz match. These championships are just becoming schmaz matches. The Raw Women's Championship has to be a schmaz match. The Women's Tag Team Championship is going to end up in a schmaz match. Who knows what's going to happen with the SmackDown and the Raw tag titles? Both are probably going to be schmaz matches. All I need to see for the SmackDown tag straps, Usos versus Hardys. That sells itself. They'll probably add in the Bar and who knows who else. Roman Reigns accepted Drew McIntyre's challenge. Does anybody care? The match is probably going to be pretty good at WrestleMania. The storyline is totally horrible. They just started it 2 weeks ago. I thought they started it okay, but they had to get creative this week to make us care. All they did was have Drew come into the middle of the ring. He spoke for 6 minutes before Roman finally came down to say Roman accepts the challenge. But this isn't Roman. When you speak about my wife and children, this isn't Roman. And he starts to punch Drew McIntyre in his mug, and Drew McIntyre low blows him, gives him the Claymore kick. That's the segment. That's fine if we were 3 or 4 weeks away from WrestleMania and you were going to build something way more cooler and badass in the future, but that's all they have. With one Monday Night Raw left, that's what they had for Drew and Roman. All right. I'm sold. Take my money. Bullshit. Give me that shit back. Unfucking real. 16 time, 4 time. What do you got? Roman in there. We got Sasha and Bayley. We got Baron Corbin defeated Apollo Crews. If you were still awake or you didn't change the channel, you saw Baron Corbin defeat Apollo Crews in a rematch from last week. But last week, Apollo Crews won the match. So, 50-50 booking destroys everybody. I tell you guys that all the time. Apollo last week. Baron this week. Remember EC3 beat Dean Ambrose, his debut? And then the following week, Dean Ambrose beat EC3 for no reason. And then we didn't see EC3 ever again. I don't understand the 50-50 redundancy rematch booking here. A rematch from just last week for no reason. Nobody wanted to see it last week. Nobody wanted to see it this week. Apollo versus Baron. I don't care if Baron is going to be the one to take on Angle or not. There's a conspiracy theory that somebody's going to show up at WrestleMania and take Baron's spot. I don't care. I love Kurt Angle and what he did in this business, but the guy can't go anymore. He can't. You could put him in there with the biggest guy you know in this world. If Yoko was still here, God rest and bless his soul, Kurt couldn't go with Yoko at this point. My Nani, that's Italian for grandmother, just so you know. My Nani, who's 83 years old, could run circles around Kurt Angle right now. I don't care if it's Baron, John Cena, The Rock at this point. It doesn't matter, man. Kurt Angle's done. Is he even going to make it through this tour? And speaking of Kurt Angle, he took on Samoa Joe last night in his farewell tour. What irks me about this is they just announced Samoa Joe like nothing. Like he was a part of the Raw roster forever. Samoa Joe is part of SmackDown. You want us to believe there's a real brand split and that it means something to these individuals, yet they just show up like nothing. Charlotte Flair just shows up out of nowhere to be included into the Raw Women's Championship. Samoa Joe comes out of nowhere to take on a Raw superstar in Kurt Angle. It doesn't make sense, and B, that's A. A, it doesn't make sense. B, they don't even try to clarify it. They don't even mention that he's from SmackDown, really. Or why he's there. Just that they used to have a rivalry back in the day. Where? At TNA Impact? Please, everyone's willing to forget that. A, or B, we've seen it and we're done with it. So Samoa Joe just shows up on Raw like nothing. Nobody sees a problem in that. And then on top of that, he's just losing in 9 minutes. This is your United States champion. Not only is he on a losing streak on SmackDown, he can't even win a match against Old Man Angle on Raw. But that's your champion. BC, don't complain, man. It's entertainment. Are you not entertained? No, I'm not. Triple H goes out there. Triple H and Batista. They started this real late, just a month ago, if even, when Batista jumped Ric Flair backstage at his 70th birthday party, and we all thought this is going to be epic, guys. This is the feud we've been waiting for in the storyline. And guess what? Here we are weeks later. Nope. It fizzled out like everything else that WWE produces and Vince McMahon gets his hands on. It fizzled to pixie dust. I'd rather gold dust on this WrestleMania. I'd rather star dust. But no, it fizzled to pixie dust. Triple H is in the middle of the ring. He can't even get an envelope out of his jacket. He makes a joke. He's doing the job for the envelope. We can give a ha-ha to that. Triple H can be comedical. I actually like Triple H. I do. You guys know that. I'm really fond of the guy, man. I love the guy as a superstar, and I love the guy as a businessman. I just think he can do even better, man. What he's doing with NXT, he should have a helping hand. WWE's main roster will never be like NXT because it can't be. I understand that. It's a much bigger conglomerate. But you could do certain things accordingly. And I think he just lets Vince walk all over him because Vince is the chairman. But Triple H can have a lot more say. If he asserted himself, man. Last night, we needed more from him and Batista than just him coming out and giving a letter of Batista's attorney saying that Batista no longer wants to compete unless Triple H puts his career on the line. BC, that's a cool layer to the story, you don't think? Guys, no. If this was anybody else putting their career on the line, then that's cool. I could be down with that. Shades of WrestleMania 7, Warrior and Macho Man. Career-ending match for one of the two. But in a match, guys, where Triple H is beyond part-time status, the guy wrestles once or twice a year, if even. He could easily lose this match and still find a way, because he's basically the boss, to wrestle again in the future. So even if he lost, it wouldn't make a difference. And up front, this just tells me he's going to beat Batista anyway. So a guy like Triple H putting his career on the line when it's basically done anyway, it doesn't do anything for me. I'd rather have some more creativity in the storyline last night than that announcement. Because it doesn't do anything for me. If it does something for you, if you're really intrigued on if Triple H will not wrestle once a year anymore, kudos for you. Golf clap for you. And that was the Batista Triple H storyline last night, 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. 13 nights. Same thing with Seth Rollins. 13 nights away from WrestleMania. We have not had a storyline at all with Brock and Seth. It's just been nothing but Seth and Paul Heyman, promo to promo, face to face. And last week, Brock actually showed up just to distract Seth, and Seth gets beat by Drew McIntyre. And Brock laughs, and Raw goes off the air. There's been no storyline between Seth and Brock at all. And then last night, Seth and Paul Heyman have another promo. That's all I can talk about. BC, they said some good stuff though. Okay, my 83-year-old Nani says amazing stuff. Doesn't mean she should be booked at WrestleMania in a main match. Or that we should care about it. Paul Heyman, man. Today's millennials is all about thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers this, thoughts and prayers. Seth Rollins is going to try to slay the beast. We offer our thoughts and prayers. I love when Paul Heyman jumps down the millennials' throats, but we need more. Even if you hate the Amplified Man because I'm always speaking these truths that you don't want to hear, you can at least look in the mirror and say, wow, I even have to agree with the Amplified Man. He's right in everything he's saying. They should be way more creative than this. BC, Brock doesn't show up. What do you want them to do? Get creative. I don't care if Seth has to, storyline-wise, show up at Brock's house, and I put that in air quotes because it doesn't even have to be Brock's house. But you could pre-tape something in advance. That Seth is fed up with Brock not showing up, so Seth showed up to Brock's house, and he's trying to get in. Maybe Brock's there, maybe he's not, but something that's at least intriguing to us. Last week, when Brock was actually there, you pre-tape a parking lot segment for this week between Seth and Brock. Anything! Just get creative! No, what we'll do is we'll send Seth out there and Paul. Let him have some words for 6 minutes. Okay, Vince, we've done it 7 times before. It's all right. They either won't remember or they won't care. right, Vince, we'll schedule it, we'll pencil it in. That was your big storyline. That's your story. Seth and Paul, face to face, not even. Paul's still up at the rampway. Seth, like, kind of chased him down afterwards, delivered another message, and dropped the mic on him. This is what I mean, guys. It's WrestleMania season. We're 13 nights away, 12 now. You can't get any more creative? Alexa Bliss, Moan of Bliss, finally made its way into the ring, and it wasn't interrupted. Hey, golf clap. Braun Strowman is a special guest. Alexa says she's got Colin Jost and Michael Che via Satellite Live in New York. And Colin Jost played the best villain last night. He was the most entertaining, and he sucked. Line delivery was horrible and everything, so for me to say Colin Jost was probably the most entertaining villain last night, that shows you that the roster's performance right now, through no fault of their own or fault of their own, I think it's a mixture of both, the roster's performance is horrendous when Colin Jost is showing you up. This is Braun Strowman, ladies and gentlemen. This is his big storyline for WrestleMania. Last year, he was winning tag straps with Nicholas. And this year, he's in a Andre the Giant Battle Royal trying to get those hands on Colin Jost and Michael Che because they're going to be included into the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Or everyone who is shitting on the Battle Royal, you look like a fool now, don't you? Because now we get Colin Jost and Michael Che in this. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is more epic than ever before. Said no one ever. What's sad about all this is that segment got the most time of day last night. That got the most detail and focus and attention. Fuck the superstars. Let's give the sideshow some shit. Speaking of sideshows, Elias was in New York City around Madison Square Garden last night, saying he was taking a moment from his rehearsals. He had a cup of his green tea. Somebody put a quarter in it. He got upset at first, and then he thought, you know what? Let me make some money here. So then he started playing like a street performer. People started giving money into him, into his guitar case. On one of the segments, somebody actually started stealing his money and eventually his whole guitar case. I don't know what I would like it. I actually didn't mind it if it led to something cool. Like, where is this leading to? Something's going to happen here with Elias, right? He's out there in New York City. Is there another superstar around there? Does Elias have something up his sleeve? No. The final segment was Elias just playing with his eyes closed and somebody stole all of his money from his guitar case. Not a superstar, just some random Joe Schmo in New York City. Who the fuck knows? I have no fucking idea where that was supposed to go. What's tragic is Vince and WWE didn't know where it was supposed to go either. Even when they get something that might be cool, they don't know where to go with it. After like 2 minutes, it's like they forget where they were even going. What were we doing, Vince? I forgot. We have 3 sentences, and I forgot what we were going. I don't know. I'm still on Braun Strowman and how we can insert Nicholas into this Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Is there a way we can have Nicholas win? And then the main event. 5th. Yes, 5th time in the last month that we've seen Drew McIntyre versus Dean Ambrose. But we saw it again last night. And this wasn't even at least a couple weeks ago. Remember the No Holds Barred Falls Count Anywhere match that they had a couple weeks ago? That was actually a damn good main event, even though that was a regurgitated rematch. Last night was a million times worse than that. And this was supposed to be a last man standing match. Dean Ambrose, Drew McIntyre, a rematch of rematches. Again, 5th time in the last month. When you look at a month as 4 weeks, really, and it's the 5th time, because don't forget, that 6-man tag match they had at Fastlane. I'm including that. But why do we need to see our main event 13 days away from WrestleMania, a 5-time rematch in 4 weeks? Between a guy, Drew McIntyre, who's not even in one of the marquee matches with Roman, and another guy, Dean Ambrose, who supposedly you're telling us is leaving after Mania. How is that your last visuals and sounds when Raw goes off the air? 13 nights away from Mania. But it was. Claymore kick. In 10 minutes, this match was over. Drew McIntyre wins. We fade to black. And that's your epic storyline. No cliffhanger. Nothing to interest us. Nothing is exciting us. And Raw goes off the air. Fuck. I'm the bad guy, though. I'm the boogeyman. I'm the one with the black hat always. Yes, yes, and yes. I am the bad guy on the platform. I understand. I am the boogeyman on the platform. I understand. I do literally and figuratively wear the black hat on the platform. I understand. But for that reason, how I critiqued this Monday Night Raw? No, I'm not the bad guy in this scenario. I'm not the boogie guy in this scenario. I'm not just the guy that wears the black hat in this scenario. I'm the guy who's telling you the truth. Last night's Raw was horrific beyond belief. And during WrestleMania season, that is straight up unacceptable. I'm not going to waste another breath on this. SmackDown tonight. Last week I didn't like Raw and I said SmackDown had to rectify Raw's wrongs. Guess what, SmackDown? You got to pull Raw's weight again because you have to do the same thing this week that I asked of you last week. I really hope they can do it. Because they have a tall order on their hands. They have a tall task. SmackDown not only has to put on a good show for themselves, but they have to pick up the slack that Raw left behind. Good luck, SmackDown. You're gonna need it. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for the SmackDown review and reaction. I really do hope I'm in a much nicer mood and we can talk about good things, positive energy, that we're all excited going. You guys think I like doing this. And I know it's entertaining to you guys, but I don't like giving off all this negativity and bullshit. This should be positivity that I am sending to you guys. I should be talking about how awesome last night's show was and how excited we are for Mania. That's what I want to do. At this point, I would beg Vince McMahon to allow me to do that. Fuck. That's it. Amplified, man. Much love and respect to every single one of you guys. I'll see you tomorrow, and hopefully this company did a lot better tonight than they did last night. For now, check you.